Hey guys, so welcome to day 15 of the Feel the Love Challenge videos. Um, and today's was, I try to keep the challenge videos to about a minute or less, but today's was really important and impactful, so it's going to be a bit more. Now, this was one of the few challenge tasks that I knew from the onset who I wanted this to be with, right? So I was very prepared. For those of you who have been like hanging around my channel for a minute, you might be aware of the fact that I have 3 siblings. There we go. And one of whom I used to be very, very close with as a child, and we have since drifted. And this was due to a lot of different reasons. It's very complex, but primarily there were a lot of big separations and upheavals in the home that kind of created some distance between us. Like all families, we've got our stuff, right? So when this sibling approached me when I was about 18, 19, and for reference, I'm in my early 30s now, so I'll let you do the math. They wanted to work on things and wanted to reconcile. And I'll be honest, I kind of dismissed it and shot them down. And the reasons for this, again, are quite complex. But long story short, I felt like throughout everything that had happened in our childhoods, um, I felt very invisible. Like my feelings didn't impact the outcome. Like what I wanted, what I needed didn't impact how things played out. Like it just didn't matter. But when the sibling approached me about reconciliation and wanting to get it all out there, wanting to just really repair, I was kind of operating under the assumption in the back of my mind that it was going to be business as usual, that nothing I would have to say would matter and that things would inevitably end up falling apart and drifting away again. When time passed, we'd see each other at family functions, and it was polite but strained. The sibling has 2 kids who are now teenagers, which is just bonkers. So I try to be a good aunt as much as possible, but there were limitations, and our relationship just kind of stayed where it was, which was cordial, but nothing more. And in the last 2 years, I've really been on a profound portion of my healing journey. I've been on a healing journey for a very, very, very long. But a profound portion of blossoming and growth and deep, deep healing. I have learned things about this sibling as well as just about our family and about myself that allowed me to kind of contextualize our experience. So much of the time, I felt like a kid who was in over their head, having to figure out grown-up problems without the capacity, the skills, the ability. And learning what I learned about them, as well as learning how to better self-empathize and how to make space for my emotions, allowed me to see this sibling more compassionately and see them as just another kid trying to figure out something that they were not emotionally qualified for long before their time. And it made me really want to consider reconciliation in a serious capacity. And I've recently been connecting with, this sibling's daughter, my niece, a little bit more, spending more time over there. And it seemed like the time was right to put that out there. So I wrote a letter. And while there's a lot of things that I wanted to say over the years, I found that when push came to shove, after all this time, after all the deliberating and all the sifting through emotionally, the things I wanted to say were the things that I wish had been said back then, which are that it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same without him when he was gone. Our home became a house. Our family felt incomplete. There was grief without him. And what is grief if not love, wearing the tattered disguise of loss? you know. So I wrote the letter. I bawled my eyes out, which is good. Crying is good sometimes. Um, and I prepared. I went over to their house for my niece's birthday, which I'll share that on day 24 of the challenge, and I gave him the letter. But what happened before I gave him the letter is what made it that much more magical. So if you want to hear how it turned out, go check out day 24. I love you guys.